A topic that has become increasingly controversial is being voted on in Lewiston today. The school budget has left taxpayers and school leaders divided. Pearl Small was at the polls today speaking to voters and joins us live now in the studio. Pearl.
Zach, voters in Lewiston aren't just heading to the polls for the primaries, but also for another vote on the municipal school budget. After recent cuts, school leaders say there is nothing else they can change, but some residents still aren't convinced.
It's just more than we can afford.
Robert McCarthy voted no on the school budget in May, and he planned to vote no again on Tuesday.
It's not a big hole that we just keep shoveling stuff in, hoping to fill, and it never fills.
As a taxpayer, McCarthy says he is upset about the more than $9 million increase from the year before, which would increase property taxes by $1.90 per $1,000.
I'm a taxpayer here in Lewiston also, but I also have kids in school.
Since the first budget was rejected, Lewiston administrators have amended it twice, cutting more than $1 million. But Superintendent Jake Langless says just like businesses, schools face rate increases and inflation, which makes cost increases unavoidable.
People aiming to reduce it at this point, it's going to take away from what we provide kids.
If the budget is rejected again, Langless says administrators will have to ask some very tough questions.
What can we scale back on, because there's a budget supported by law, but it's not what the voters have passed.
Langless says it's likely additional cuts would affect after-school programs, which he believes would have significant long and short-term impacts.
Families would have to figure out where those kids will be. We'll have a number of kids who would rather be engaged in positive school things that will be out in our community looking for things to do.
That's scary to think about, kids not having good, safe options after school.
Johanna Seltzer has her own doubts about the budget, but as a mom, she says she came out to vote in favor of it, worried about the effects of another delay.
But at this kind of late stage in the process where this conversation's been happening for months, I feel like we need to move forward with the budget.
And if the budget does pass, what is a stress for some,
I fear for especially the senior citizens on a fixed income,
would be a relief for others.
People who work here and families who have children in schools to know that what they've come to expect from schools will continue.
Now the polls close at 8, and the superintendent says if this budget is rejected again, they will have to plan another vote later in the summer. But until then, the last budget that was approved by the City Council will be put in place temporarily. Zach.
Pearl Small live in the studio tonight. Thanks so much.